Alrighty, welcome back. Here we go. Super Saturday session. Breaking things down, we're gonna go through each component from today's session. I'm gonna show you how you can break this up into 2 different days of work, where you can pick one style of training or the other, depending on what your needs are at this time. So, with today's Saturday session, we opened up with working on, instead of super heavy weight, moderately heavy weight, where we're going touch and go, meaning we're not letting go of the barbell and we're continuing to do some barbell cycling. I wanted to work on some heavy loads here. So we built up to 3 touch and go squat snatches. And then from there, we built up to 3 touch and go squat cleans plus 1 jerk overhead. And the reason I didn't do 3 clean and jerks touch and go is I want to keep my shoulders a little bit more fresh for the other elements that we were in for this Saturday session. So again, 3 touch and go squat snatches without putting down the barbell, rest a little bit into the 3 squat clean with 1 jerk. So we built up to about 80% for each. I went up to a weight that felt good. I wanted to shoot between 80 and 85%. The squat snatch we built up to 80%. It was very solid and very efficient movement there. And then the squat cleans, we bumped it, I think it was like 83% of my 1 rep max clean and jerk. So that was the strength piece. And then I went right into 2 Metcons back to back. I took a 5-minute break in between each, just to see how my body would respond, seeing where my level of fitness is at, considering I haven't been doing as much conditioning as I usually do. So the first Metcon here is everyone's favorite, the Rogue Echo Bike, for 7 cals for the guys, 5 cals for the girls. And then working on some gymnastics, we have 4 ring muscle ups. The reason being for this, for me, my max set of ring muscle ups is 12, something I've been working on and want to work on. So taking about 30% of that, 33% to be exact, hitting smaller sets where I think I can go unbroken. And I wanted to go unbroken throughout the workout. There's 10 rounds, so it's 40 ring muscle ups. This is the most ring muscle ups I've ever done in a workout. And also thinking through this, so we have 10 rounds, thinking about what 7 calories on the Echo Bike would take, plus the ring muscle ups. I was programming this out for myself to be about 1 minute a round. So kind of like an EMOM, in a sense it was, and I finished just under 10 rounds. I finished just under that 10 minutes, so I was able to read my body, feel everything out, and hit those goals. It wasn't easy. I knew I had to push the envelope because towards the latter half, because the most ring muscle ups I've ever done in a workout is 30, the extra few sets at the end, the 7, 8, 9, and 10 became quite difficult. So there's something to keep in mind. If you're not super proficient, you can switch to bar muscle ups. If you're not proficient at those, we can scale it back to burpee pull-ups. The next segment, after a 5-minute rest from here, so this took 10 minutes, 5 minutes, so now we're at 15. We have 5 rounds of a 200-meter air runner, which is the self-propelled treadmill. 200 meters there. And then you go immediately into a squat snatch with a single dumbbell, 70 pounds for the guys, 50 pounds for the girls, and we're alternating each rep. So this is something where I want to test my shoulder mobility, a little bit of that leg endurance that was blown up from the Echo Bike, not really utilized clearly on the bar muscle ups, but seeing how the air runner would jack up my heart rate once everything's going there. Again, testing that conditioning from one piece to the next, seeing what this would take. I didn't really have a game plan. It was kind of just run steady, move real smooth with the dumbbell. Wasn't trying to push anything too crazy here. Ended up failing a couple reps, realizing my right arm needs a little bit of work. I don't know if it was a mobility issue, something from the ring muscle ups. Probably didn't warm up as well as I should have leading into it, because as the rounds went on, 1 and 2 were a little shaky, but 3, 4, and 5, we didn't miss any reps. Everything was really, really solid. For the most part, a couple bits of shaky pieces at the end, clearly under fatigue. So again, it's a 200-meter air run on the self-propelled treadmills, 10 alternating dumbbell squat snatches with a 70-pounder for the guys, 50 for the girls, 5 total rounds. And the way, again, I attack this is very steady on the run, not trying to blow yourself up, but not moving slow, and then nice and steady on the 10 squat snatches. And then the last round, going touch and go, where I was switching midair and seeing how I could push the envelope. It did tear up my hands a little bit, so maybe chalk up in between on your run. If I would have done anything differently, I would have had chalk in my hand as I'm running instead of going to the bucket, going to the dumbbell after getting off the treadmill. So just some things to think about when you're trying to minimize those transitions. This took about 12 minutes. Wasn't super happy, but with the circumstances of everything, volume-wise up to this point, not a bad workout. What I was going to do next, but realized that I was short on time, and I will be doing at the conclusion of this video, is the tempo front squat. After strength 1, Metcon 1, Metcon 2, I consumed a fuel for fire, drank a little bit of some liquid carbs from First Form, some Intraformance, getting the energy levels back, letting my body rest, warmed up, charged. Would have done the tempo front squats where it's a 5-second negative down, 5-second hold in the hole, and then a 3-second up. And if you were here for last week, we did a back squat tempo squat. So this week we're changing it up and we're doing a front squat. So that's what I'm gonna hit after this session. Hopefully my body's nice and warm and we've recovered from this evening. After that, well, really what I did do after the Metcons, pardon the strength, is 5 sets of core work of 22 GHD sit-ups, 11 toes to bar. These were done back to back, superset. So immediately after getting off the GHD machine, took a second to gather myself, no more than 5 seconds, up on the bar and doing 11 unbroken toes to bar. After that, I would rest for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes and then I would repeat that. Really gets the hip flexors fired up, getting that core engaged, testing some limits there, as 22 and 11 are pretty strange numbers that you typically wouldn't see in a workout. Something you might see is a 20 and 10, very even set and very predictable set you would maybe see in a workout. So 22 and 11 pushes that extra 10% just to see if you can hold on and see what that's gonna do to your body. Again, 5 sets there, 22 GHDs, 11 toes to bar. Then we have 10 sets of an 80-foot yoke carry. So this is the thing that goes on your back, load up weights on the bottom. They were in the games. Now it wasn't as heavy as the 600 pounds that they were moving, but I added 220 pounds to what I believe the Rogue one weighs is 185. So we were looking at 405 pounds that we're carrying, 40 feet one way, 40 feet back. Supersetting that with an 80-foot sled push. Adding here 5 blue plates, so 225 pounds added to an already existing, I believe the sled weighs 85. So that would make it just around 300 pounds that I'm pushing. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the big Rogue dog sled. I believe it's 85, but it may be 55. So let's say it's 55, 275 at the minimum. And again, 40 feet out, 40 foot back, same path, superset those. And then resting for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes in between sets. I was probably resting more about 1 minute to 90 seconds, but if you need a little more time, because this is some good strongman work, take the rest. In attacking this, in the yoke carry, really trying to brace that core, adding a little bit more weight than previous weeks, the same amount of volume of sets and distance, but more weight, so more load was added to really stimulate, brace that core, really fatigue my whole body. And then finishing off the legs with a sled push, great for the quads, great for the glutes, hamstrings, and calves. And it's not super, I don't think it beats up the body too bad, like, you know, a squat clean or deadlifting, front squat, back squat would necessarily. I think it loads the muscles very well, and I got a great workout just from that itself. And then finally, for the final set or piece of this accessory work, we finished with a 1-minute bear hug, and I was walking around for 1 minute at a time, doing 5 sets of that, accumulating 5 total minutes, taking a 150-pound sandbag for a trip around the gym, accumulating 1 minute, dropping the sandbag, resting for about 2 minutes, because at that point my back was just very fatigued and overloaded, having to roll out with a lacrosse ball, getting everything loose there. The posterior chain was quite jacked up, so it was a very hard but effective, and I feel great now, but a hard, effective at the time, accessory work. It's about, again, that's a 1-minute bear hug with a sandbag, and you're walking around the gym as you please. So this is a full Saturday session. Again, did not have enough time, did not plan properly. We had some things to take care of after the gym, but I'm gonna do that right now, or when I'm done this video. So let's break it down. If you wanna do a little bit less volume, how would you move this into a session, or how would you mold this into a session? Okay, so if you're less on the Olympic side of things, and maybe you want to work more on the skillful part, maybe you want to rebuild your squat. Let's start with the elements in the orange. First, we have the tempo front squat, where you're coming 5 seconds down, 5-second hold, 3-second up. Again, we're going to build up to about 80% here. And then Maximum, I'd say, is probably 5 heavier sets, like actual working sets. And then at the bottom piece of that, we're gonna have the 10 rounds of the Echo Bike and the ring or bar or burpee pull-ups. And then for the accessory work, we're just gonna finish off that core there that we've already braced here, and we're gonna finish it off with that 1 minute bear hug and walk around around the gym. And you can do this with a 100-pounder, you can do it with a 70-pound D-ball, something a little bit lighter, and if that, maybe a 20-pound med ball or 30-pound med ball that you just wanna hold, and make sure you're bracing your core, firing up those glutes. On the other side, for the purple, this workout, we could focus more on the ollie lifts, the touch and go snatches, the touch and go cleans, plus the jerk. I find this a little bit more effective in my mind because we have these elements here that we can work on, and then a little bit more on the core and leg side that isn't as intensive. I think this is a little bit more fun, but this purple section here has a little bit more volume in that middle part, plus a nice little aerobic capacity Metcon with the runner, and then some specialty work with the dumbbell. So in my opinion, I think the purple is gonna be a little more fun, but if you're looking for more on that strength side of things and the skillful side of things, maybe hit that orange side of the workout if you wanted to break it up into 2 pieces, or pick some elements that you like, throw them together, and have a great workout. So that is this Saturday's breakdown. Thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube, and thank you guys on IG for tuning in as well. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.